It's Rana, and today I have a layout that will be on the Pretty Little Studio blog. I will have that linked up below so that you can click the link and go directly to the blog if you'd like. It will show you all the products that I used with a link to the store so that you can see exactly what I've used here and how to get it. This layout, you saw the photo that I chose. That is a layout of my youngest granddaughter, and we recently had some snow and ice. Well, actually, we had freezing rain and ice first, and then a couple of days later, we had a bunch of snow. So that's been super fun. We've really enjoyed it. Not the ice, but the snow. But this was taken just after the ice. So I decided to do a all pink layout, and the die cuts there that I'm showing you, I believe are mostly Sizzix. You may have read on there on my little magnet sheet that I use to store my dies that it said Lawn Fawn. And that is the one that I'm working with right there. And then the bigger snowflake that has the hole in the center. This is the center part of that. I'm going to go ahead and stitch on this. It's a stitched die. You don't have to stitch on it. But I obviously love stitching, and I thought it would just, make it stand out more and give it a little more texture. And I like how it turned out. So I'm glad I did it. I did just the snowflake shape without doing the little extra pieces at the end, the little, I don't even know what you would call that. It's like the ends of the snowflakes. So that's what I'm going back and doing here. And then I really like how it looked. So here in a little bit, I'm going to use another die cut of this and use it as a template to add some to my layout as well. So I'll have, that stitched snowflake in 3 places. So, and the paper that I'm using to stitch on here, you're going to see it close up here in a second. So I used some paper glaze in Cherry Blossom. It's the Luxe, and then some paper glaze in Velvet, and the color on that one was pink Tinsel. And I mixed the two together. If you watched my video from yesterday, you would have seen me using it on the layout through a stencil. And what I had left, I took a palette knife and scraped it across plain white, a nice heavyweight plain white cardstock, and I scraped it pretty thin, and the color matched this collection perfectly. So I didn't want to waste it after I had it mixed. So I did that, and then I cut all of these snowflakes out of it, and then the one piece that you can see now behind the photo is going to serve as my photo mat. And it also has that, and then I left the brush strokes on it. It also has that texture paste, and I left the ends where you stop and start and that kind of thing. And I really liked how that looked. So I kept the palette knife, and I just wrapped my press and seal around it. And you're going to see me fumble with that a little bit here also, but I'll talk about that when we get there. But I did let that dry overnight. So now I chose some papers. Some were scraps, and I chose to use a pink polka dot that was a darker pink, a little plaid, and then a snowflake pattern. And then I fussy cut that little banner piece, and I was going to use it, and I just didn't like it after I put it on there, so that is not going to make it. But I pulled out a few soft pink dies, or die cuts, out of one of the, sugar plum packs from Pretty Little Studio, and I'm going to use those along with these snowflakes that I die cut. I think most of the snowflakes are Sizzix. I may have said that already. I'm not sure. Besides that Lawn Fawn one there. And you can see the big one there on the layout now. And honestly, I love how that looks. I'm not sure why I changed it. I go off screen to start gluing things down and I pulled everything apart and I really kind of like that little flower the way it is. Um, I think I may have decided I wanted to keep it more in a L design and then just have the embellishments kind of diagonal. So that might have been the reason, but I kind of like it as I watch it back now. So I am using my normal adhesive and then I'm using some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive because I am putting this on that mixed media, that paste. It really needed to have some liquid glue to make sure it was going to stay on. And then I'm also going to pop the picture up. You could see that I used that same one, the same paper that I made myself with the paste, but then I did cut it out of the center. I was just real careful not to get it too close to the edges, and that way I would be able to use it for the photo mat as well. Making that last because I love how it looks. It's hard to tell on screen, but it is so sparkly. And here's where I had left it on the palette knife, hoping that I would be able to use it for some splatters. And I'm trying to revive it. It did get hard. I should have kept it in a plastic container instead of thinking that I could make it work with just the press and seal around it. I didn't realize that I was going to wait as long as I did. I let it dry overnight, but then it ended up being longer than just overnight, and it got pretty hard, but it revived enough that I can do what I want to do with it here. I'm just going to add quite a bit of water, and I'm going to do just a little bit of a soft wash right around the photo mat. I did go ahead and do kind of up in that ripped area at the bottom. And then I didn't do it at the top piece, but I curled it up and you can't really tell that I didn't do it. So it's not a big deal. I add that little wash and I'm also going to add some splatters using the same stuff. And you can barely see it on screen. It shows up on the layout itself, but it's kind of hard to tell, here on this, but it's because it's such a soft pink but it is so sparkly and I absolutely love it. Still trying to get get enough mixed in without having chunks so that I can use it for some splatters here. It did work, so I'm not gonna knock it. It worked out. But after I cleaned this up, I end up finishing the rest of the layout after I cleaned it up, and then of course I didn't have any more to add splatters afterwards, but that's okay. I got enough on here and it worked out fine. So I do have everything adhered down now, those three pattern papers and then the photo mat and the photo it's all placed down in that L design that I wanted. And I ended up going with the snowflake kind of over that corner instead of the rose. And I like it like this too. You'll see how I snuggled in the snowflake that's going to house the title. Gosh, words. Here in just a minute. It's going to be it's all going to be closer together and in a diagonal so that it stays pretty tight all together in that reverse L, which I really like that design. And I guess that's what I was thinking. See here, I kind of had it up and out before, and I think I decided I liked it better like this, and that's why it changed and didn't have the other floral over there. But they were both such pretty roses. I guess I'll save it for another layout though. You can also see the sequins that I have there, and those are from Potpourri Mix. I believe the name is Rose Pink, and it matched exactly with this collection. So if you still have some of these sequins in your stash, pull them out when you're using your Sugar Plum collection because it is so pretty with it. And I'm kind of deciding I really do like it, but I wanted to add in, like I said, the other little snowflakes with the stitching. Oh, and I was going to let you know that the DMC floss I used that also matched perfectly was 605. And I like how that looked. I do add a little bit of foam tape behind a few of my items. The picture, of course, you saw was popped up the top of the rose and the top of some of those uh, little berries there. I did not try and pop up any of the snowflakes. It's just too hard when they're, so delicate. So those are all flat with the page, other than the one that's over top of the photo mat, which had to be popped up a little. And actually, I think it's just loose. So it may get a little smashed in the page protector in the end, but that's okay. This die cut beautifully too over that paste. I wasn't sure how it would do because I use an electronic die cut machine instead of just the hand crank kind, and I was afraid that it may just peel it right off, but it didn't. It cut beautifully. I didn't have any flaking off. It was perfect. I'm definitely going to do it again. I love how it looked. So I cut one more of those snowflakes just out of a plain white cardstock so I could use it as a template to make my holes and do some more of the snowflakes. And that's what you see me doing here. I just added two more so that I can have that, that fun little element in three places. And I really like how that looked. It was a real easy one to stitch. I don't think I showed you all of the stitching here because I showed most of the other one, so I think I'm just going to start it and move on. I want to thank you very, very much for spending some time with me today with subscribing and leaving comments. I have grown my channel and I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch and come back again and subscribe and like videos and those kinds of things, play along with playlists when I'm participating in hops. It's a lot of fun. I have always loved scrapbooking, and so this is just something added to, but I've enjoyed it very much, and I'm getting close to a 500 subscriber mark. So if you have not subscribed yet, I would love it if you would do that, and we'll just keep growing this channel. I really have, had made a lot of friends through this, and done some different hops with different people, and had encouragement and things with this whole scrapbook community, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm very much enjoying that, and of course, being on the Pretty Little Studio design team has been a huge, dream. I love all of these products. I am showing you the end and you can see the sparkle. Love how it turned out. But I really appreciate you being here, like I said, and I will be back again, I believe tomorrow, with another layout. So thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.